So many business owners host events and then judge success based on one question. Did I get clients? That's usually the wrong question. The better question is, did I move people closer to knowing, liking, trusting, and remembering my business? Today, we're talking about a recent event we hosted for Boltz Legal and the lessons we learned.
Lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done.
A few weeks ago, we hosted a summer kickoff event for children. And if you're a business owner, you know exactly what happens after an event. Some people say, that was amazing, but others ask, yeah, but how many clients did you get? Today, I wanted to pull back the curtain and share what worked for us, what didn't, what surprised us, and how to evaluate whether an event was actually successful. Because sometimes the return on investment of an event isn't what you think it is.
So the goal was never just to throw a party. This wasn't just a fun day for kids. It was a strategic community building event. We intentionally held it in a neighborhood closest to our office. The exact families we wanted to serve, the exact community that we want to become known in. We mailed postcards directly to the neighborhood. The postcard included a QR code for registration. We ran Facebook ads. We created an organic social media video. We partnered with 8 or 9 other local businesses, and every vendor promoted the event to their audience. So when you think about marketing, one of the most powerful things you can do is to create those multiple touch points. A family might have seen the postcards, seen the Facebook ad, seen a vendor post, heard about it from a neighbor, or seen one of our videos. But by the time they arrived, they had likely interacted with our brand multiple times.
So we've done events in the past, and we've always hosted them at the Boltz Legal office. The office is really located on a main street in our town, and it's got a nice big parking lot, which is enough space for the events we've hosted. And so that's where we've always hosted events in the past. But for whatever reason, I did not feel like we were reaching the community and the houses right near the office. For whatever reason, they were not the people coming to those events. So this time we changed it up a little bit and hosted it in the park that is like a block away from the office, so still very close to the office, but hoping that because that's the park that neighborhood is going to on a regular basis, maybe it's a safer space for them, a more comfortable place to go, and we were hoping that this time it would attract that neighborhood specifically that wasn't willing to come to the Boltz Legal office, but was willing to come to the park they were comfortable with. And I think we did that. We definitely had a number of people from that neighborhood who was present at this event who had never previously come to one of our other events.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a lot of strategy that went into play with how this whole event was going to take place, you know, from the very beginning, like we mentioned previously, but also with the activities. They were designed to create energy. We wanted to create movement. We wanted to create excitement. We wanted those memorable moments. The event included a basketball knockout tournament, a color run obstacle course, which I think was everybody's favorite event, a giant water balloon fight, snow cones, Kelly's ice cream, a DJ, giveaways, raffles, and medals for the participants. One of our vendors, Healthy Kids Running Club, also brought a massive inflatable finish line. And as the kids crossed the finish line, they received the medals. And, you know, adults may forget what you say, but kids will never forget how you made them feel. When that child or when the children cross the finish line and receive the medals in front of their family, that moment created an emotional memory. And emotional memories create brand memories. Kids kept wanting to run the course over and over again. Even after everyone had finished, there were some kids that were going around it 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So, you know, and then as far as like the prices are concerned, the most popular item cost almost about nothing. So they weren't expensive electronics. They weren't gift cards. They were dumpling and Nido style squishy toes. The things. Toys. What did I say? Toes? Squishy toes.
Yeah. We're not giving away squishy toes. Over.
Squishy toys. Sorry, I'm like half blind right now. That's the things that the kids are obsessed with right now. And that's another lesson. You don't need to assume that expensive equals valuable. The best giveaway is the thing that people actually want.
Finding guests for a podcast can be difficult sometimes, so Brooke and I wanted to let you guys know that we are available to appear on your podcast.
We also enjoy speaking at events, so if you have an event coming up, these jingles can go on the road.
Simply go to missbiz.com/contact and in the subject line, write podcast guest or event speaker, and we'll reach out to you to further coordinate.
So one of the things when I set out to do this event, I was, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I think I ended up spending more than I planned to spend, but yeah. I was looking at how can I do a memorable event that is not overly expensive. So some of the events, like the basketball knockout tournament, that was free aside from the prizes. The color run obstacle courses, the actual obstacle courses were like little cones and cups that you stack and a hopscotch, nothing expensive. I can't imagine we spent more than $100 on the different obstacle course sections or stations. The finish line was donated. It was donated. Healthy Kids Running Club brought that free of charge, so that was amazing. The medals were inexpensive as well. I don't remember how much they were, but not much. Then the water balloons, those don't cost much. They are a lot more work than we maybe. I never want to carry another water balloon.
They were pretty heavy
container again. That was definitely a learning lesson as well, how heavy water balloons are. But they weren't expensive. The actual colors themselves that you spray on the kids, those weren't expensive. We did snow cones. I did pay for the snow cones, but they're like inexpensive as well. Kelly's homemade ice cream donated.
Oh wow, that's nice.
That ice cream, so that was free. The DJ wasn't too much. Really, probably the most expense that I had was the ads that I ran on social media, because I needed to run those ads continuously for a few weeks before the event. So that's probably the biggest expense. But you know, and then when it comes to the prizes, that was also that was also looking at, okay, instead of getting a big, like we did an event one time where we gave away a PlayStation, which was like, I don't know, $500 or $600, but only one person got to receive that. This time we did little prizes so that many kids could take something home. And I'll tell you, they were so excited over these.
They wanted those dumplings, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you a secret. They weren't even like the true name brand dumpling. Those are sold out everywhere. But so they were knockoffs. But the kids were just as excited. They look like the real thing. And the kids were very excited for those. The Neatos too, the squishy things, those were not the name brand either. So they were maybe $5 each for each of the prizes. But we probably had 50 or so. So a bunch of kids got to leave with something and they were excited for that. And I'll tell you at the end, when I was doing the raffle, there were kids all around me.
We couldn't get them to back up.
Yeah.
They were so close. They wanted to be right there.
Yes. And so not everyone got something, but many people did. And everybody did get the medal when they won, and we did have free giveaways too, but the actual prizes and the raffle things, not everyone got one, but a lot of people did, and it was a good time, but it was a learning lesson to do things that are popular with the kids, that multiple kids can enjoy and leave being excited and happy for. And my friend whose daughter came, but she could not come, said her daughter came home and said, "Mom, close your eyes. I'm going to show you what I got," and showed her the medal that she got running through the...
So she was just as excited over the medal.
She was so proud.
Yeah.
That she ran this race and got the medal. She was so proud to show her mom.
That's awesome.
And so that was really cool to know that stood out in their mind, and they were excited for that too.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it was a very, very memorable experience. One of the things that I really appreciated that we did with this event is, compared to other events that we've had, we felt like people really didn't know who we were. Or, they just came for the activities or the free stuff, and they didn't really get to know who the sponsor of the event was. So Brooke was very strategic in that she had to have she wanted some type of connection so that people would actually remember who we were and what we did. So she didn't just give away those snow cones, she made people earn them. So to get a free snow cone, participants had to tell us the name of the law firm sponsoring the event and the type of law that we practice. And, this proved to be successful. I mean, how you think about it, how often do businesses spend thousands of dollars on events and then they've never verified whether anyone remembers them or the business name? So we decided to create that fun interaction that reinforced the brand awareness. So every child and every parent walking away with the snow cone also walked away knowing who sponsored the event. And that is true marketing.
Thank you. And I'll never forget, we hosted an Easter event a couple years ago, and I happened to walk by and I heard one of the mothers asking one of the staff members, what church is sponsoring this event, or what church is hosting this event, because it was a Christian-based event. And of course it was my law firm that was hosting the event, but everybody assumed it was a church. Yeah. And so this mother said, what church is hosting this event? And my employee just goes, oh, there's no church. And didn't say anything else. And I was like, well, could you tell them that it's the law firm and what we do? And he goes, it's not a church. There's no church. And the mom was like, oh, okay. And just walked away. And I was like, oh man, that will always stand out in my mind, that when people come, they do want to know who's putting this on. And we need to make sure that they're leaving understanding who hosted this event. So this time we got our act together and we said, look, the snow cones are free, but you got to answer a question before you get it. And you have to tell us who is the law firm and what's the type of law we practice. So hopefully, because they had to speak it out and say it, they will remember if they have a legal need. And for our listeners who don't know, Boltz Legal is the name of the law firm, and we do personal injury and home insurance disputes.
So even the raffle, it served multiple purposes. To enter the raffle, participants had to complete a form. The form asked whether they had any interest in the services offered by any of our vendors. And this accomplished several things. First, it captured contact information. So anytime you're at an event, you should always try to get their contact information so that you can put them on your email list and continue to stay in touch with them even after the event. But after it captured that contact information, it also created a potential referral opportunity for our vendors. And third, it helped our vendors identify prospective customers. It also made the event more valuable for businesses that were participating. So afterwards, we shared the information with the vendors, and when the vendors receive value from your event, they're going to be more likely to participate in future events. The DJ was playing the music throughout also. And mixed into the playlist was the Boltz Legal commercial, which if you haven't heard this commercial, I'm sure you can find it probably on YouTube.
Yeah, it's also on our website, boltzlegal.com. If you go to the music video page, there is a link to the radio ad.
Yeah. So this was great because people were able to hear our name over and over again throughout the event. You know, they saw our banners, they saw our branded tent, they saw our staff, they interacted with us, they heard us announced, and by the end of the event, even if someone had never heard of Boltz Legal before, they certainly had by the time that they left. And then after the event, we took all of the photos and videos and then put them on the Boltz Legal Facebook page in an album and sent the link to the album to all of the email addresses that were from the event.
Right.
Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is at Miss Biz Podcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes.
So this last part, I really think was an added touch because it added value too. So the people who were there may have taken a few photos or maybe didn't, but now we're able to give them all the photos that we took, all the videos, so that they can go through and see their kid interacting in a way that maybe they didn't catch themselves on camera. And so we're giving them something that they can benefit from, that they'll enjoy, but also it's bringing them to our social media page, which they may not have otherwise come across. And hopefully while they're there, they go ahead and follow.
Yeah. So, you know, with every lesson or with every event, you always learn a lesson, right? So some of the things that we would do differently next time would be include more sound systems. So we had one DJ, and the problem was that he was stationed so far away from where all of the activities were taking place. Not all of them, but a majority of them. So he was stationed near the basketball court, actually. And when the activities then moved to the obstacle course, participants couldn't hear any of the announcements. So important information was getting lost. So next time we need multiple speaker locations or a distributed sound system.
Yeah. And one of the things was because we were doing water balloons, the DJ didn't want to be anywhere near the water balloons. Yeah. And there was, because it was an outdoor event, there was only one place that had an electrical connection. So we had to work with what we had and what the DJ was willing to do. And so he was willing to be near the basketball court, but that was, 100 yards away from where the obstacle course was set up. So, next time, thinking more about the audio setup is going to be important, because that leads into our second lesson, which was more microphone time. We should have had more people actively speaking about the law firm throughout the event, not in a salesy way, but in a relationship building way. People attend community events and to connect, and the microphone creates opportunities to tell stories, thank sponsors, recognize vendors, and explain why you're investing in the community. So we left some of those opportunities on the table really because of the sound setup. People were not close enough to the speaker system. They could hear the music kind of in the background, but if you talked on the microphone, it was just kind of sounded muffled if you were too far away. So we kind of lost out on some exposure by not thinking through the sound setup a little better. And this is a lesson I've learned with many outdoor events, is you need more sound equipment than you realize. Just one area set up is not going to be enough, because sound just doesn't travel well outside.
Yeah, the other thing that we would have done differently is create more intentional brand moments. So the snow cone interaction worked, the raffle worked, the commercial worked, but next time we would build even more intentional touch points throughout the event. Did we raise awareness? That's the question that everybody wants answered. And the answer is yes, but awareness is difficult to measure directly. You have to look for indicators. For example, how many people registered, how many people attended, how many email addresses were collected, how many raffle entries were completed, how many vendors participated, how many social media views did the event generate, how many people mentioned seeing the postcard, how many people mentioned seeing the Facebook ad, how many people know your company exists who didn't know before. Those are all awareness metrics.
One other thing that we did, we had, of course, all the prizes and things for the kids, but ultimately the adults are who we're trying to reach. So the adults are who filled out the forms. So that was good. We got email addresses and such, but also we had a document organizer that you put your insurance card and your registration in, that goes into your glove box of your car. So that was something that the adults had as a takeaway as well, so that if they're in a car accident, hopefully they reach for their insurance card and their registration, and they see right there, Boltz Legal, it's got our business card and an air freshener and some other things in that. So that was another giveaway that we did that hopefully allowed them to remember us, not just tomorrow, but when they have that life event that they could use our services.
Yeah, so after everything that you do, you should always be thinking about return on investment. And that includes events. So many events fail because people measure return on investment too narrowly. If one personal injury case is worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in revenue, how many future cases would it take to justify the event? Maybe one, maybe two, but that's only part of the equation. The event also generated brand awareness, community goodwill, email contacts, social media content, vendor relationships, future referral opportunities, and trust with local families. And those assets continue to produce value long after the event ends.
So here are the metrics that you should track if you're hosting an event. First are awareness metrics. So looking at registrations, attendance, social media reach, video views, direct mail response, and email captures. For our registration, we did an Eventbrite link, and that for me is critical because you get the email addresses of the people who are registering. And if you have an event and you're not capturing those email addresses, you're missing out, because that is your way to continue reaching out and putting them on your newsletter list so that they're continually hearing about your business. So awareness metrics are the first thing. Next is engagement metrics. So how many people participated in the raffle? How many conversations did you have with the attendees? What was the vendor feedback? How many social media shares did you have? And repeat attendance interest. Would people be interested in attending another event you host?
Yeah, then there's also relationship metrics. So new referral partners, vendor referrals generated, new community connections, and follow-up opportunities. And there's also business metrics. So you need to look at your website traffic, if it increased, your phone calls after the event, consultation requests, cases signed, and future referral opportunities to the event.
So one of the things we did not do this time, but we have done before that I would also do differently. When people were filling out the form, it was a physical paper form. And what would have benefited us even more than that would be to have them fill out an electronic form on the website so that it was driving traffic to the website. So the reason we didn't do that this time is because we wanted to pick names out of the fishbowl to do the raffle. But if you're gonna do the giveaway later at another time, then you definitely would benefit more from putting the sign up sheet for the raffle on your website, because you'll get a lot of traffic to your website that way.
So one of the biggest lessons wasn't about snow cones or obstacle courses or water balloons. The biggest lesson was this: people do business with businesses they know, and they remember businesses that create experiences. So long after the ice cream is gone, the water balloons are cleaned up, and the medals are pulled away, families will hopefully remember who invested in their community.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltzlegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltzmedia.com. Let's get biz done.